Hello, guys. It's Hurricane Lopez here. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. DannyDealz has the day off today, so I'm going to be filling in talking about UBX Unity Biotechnology. This stock has been absolutely decimated since the results of the wet AMD phase 2 data came back, and they did not go well for the company. It failed to achieve non inferiority to the anti VEGF treatment currently available. That data was very, very funky that caused the stock to absolutely fall off a cliff. Investor Place has an article out last week where they talk about the results. Um, and an interesting statement they make, which is kind of telling, is that the study targeted those not seeing benefits from their anti VEGF therapy. So that therapy became the control in the study for, against versus UBX 1325. And what we saw was that while UBX basically maintained flat visual acuity, it had a tiny, tiny drop off. The actual control, the anti VEGF therapy in the control arm, the aflibercept, had a huge increase or improvement in visual acuity right away in the first couple weeks of the study with two injections that were supposed to like normalize the levels. But these patients had not been seeing benefits from these same therapies. And then immediately, of course, you get them into a study versus the UBX drug, and the visual acuity takes this completely unexpected large increase for the control arm. So while the data for UBX 1325 wasn't particularly bad, the data for the anti VEGF control arm was very, very good. It increased visual acuity in the first 2 weeks and then basically maintained those gains throughout the study. Um, and the stock's been absolutely decimated. The stock was, sitting in anticipation of these results at like $4, a little over $4. And now the stock, of course, has come all the way down to $1.50. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Dannenberg said basically the results from the Envision study and our phase 2 Behold study both show encouraging signs of biological activity of UBX 1325. The relatively stronger efficacy, let me pull this up for you, that we observed in DME may be related to the distinct underlying pathophysiologies of the two diseases. We look forward to sharing 48-week data in our Behold DME study in the coming weeks. This is a week ago already. So if they're going to share data in the coming weeks, it's going to come very soon. Um, and management has been telegraphing that this data is going to be a lot better than the data they release when for the wet AMD study, and that would hold true from phase 1 also, where the DME data has just been way, way better with UBX 1325 than the AMD study since day 1. So I don't understand why the market was quite as surprised and had that overwhelming negative reaction. I guess anytime a drug does not do well in a trial and does not meet its endpoint, obviously that's going to be very, very bad for a tiny biotechnology company. But while this company has only one drug in development, in this stage of development, phase 2, they are using that drug on these two distinct conditions, and it works a lot better on DME. And the DME market is absolutely huge. It's expected to like double to $11 billion worldwide in the next like 8 years. And you can look back at my other videos and see why that is the case. But I just want to take a look at what I think is going to happen. Based on what this data says, the 48-week readout. If the 48-week readout is just really, really bad, um, I think you won't see this type of drop because obviously there's just not that far to fall. But I think, you're going to see the stock break down below $1 for sure and continue to fall because while it won't really be fair because the 24-week DME data was still excellent, but the 48-week data needs to be really, really excellent because this stock has just been hammered. Its reputation is really down right now based on these last results. So the market is going to be looking for some really spectacular data. Now, what's going to come, I can't say, but management, in my estimation, from the last call and from what they've been putting out in terms of comments, I think we can look forward to some really impressive data on the 48-week DME follow-on study. Now, if the data's bad, it's just watch out below, because this thing, falling knife, is going to be more like a falling anvil. It's going to go right through the floor, and this stock could wind up by, you know, 30-40 cents very, very easily. There just won't be much to look forward to. I think the DME will still move forward with development because the 24-week data was so good. Even if it falls off after close to a year, I don't think that's necessarily a horrible thing. That drug already, I think, has a lot of potential with DME. In any case, just a couple of things. I think if the data is decent, we could expect to challenge, this 290 level again. If the data looks really good and promising, I think this $3.90, $3.80 range could come into play. And then at the end of the day, I think we need to get back above $4, of course, and then challenge sort of this 440 level, where the stock basically rode across when it was doing really well. So last time we saw a lot of buying pressure come in across this level, and we saw obviously some selling pressure across this level. So, we were in this sort of channel from, $2.30 up to basically the mid fours. And if the data is just a home run, I see this I see this kind of continuation. So I think there's absolutely no reason, we couldn't challenge this like $7 level. If 48 weeks is a home run, um, then we have a really, really, really promising drug here. If it works better than the existing therapies at 48 weeks, it's just going to be, I think the sky is kind of the limit. I have a feeling when this data comes out, the stock is going to break really hard either way. There's a lot of room to the upside, obviously, compared to where the stock has been even recently, and there is, a lot of room towards zero as well. So, management is telegraphing, at least to my reading of the subtext, that the data is going to be really good, but we just have to see what is the appetite for the buyers out there. Are they willing to rush back into the stock? Are they still watching the stock? Did people just vomit and wash their hands of the thing and move on? Is it dead money? Um, I think if it works really well on DME, and that's a huge market, then the market has to recognize that and come back into the stock. But we're just going to have to see what happens. We expect that readout. Probably, I'm based on what management has been saying in the first half of this month, I would expect that readout by the end of next week. So thank you for watching Un Poco Mas. Please, in the comments down below, leave a comment. What do you think UBX is going to do when the data readout comes? What do you think the data is going to show? What do you think the price action will be? If it's good, if it's bad, if it's right down the middle. Sorry about that interruption. There is actual work to do around here, not just this inane blather about penny stocks. But again, the stock is UBX Unity Biotechnology Inc. It is April 4th, 2023, and we are expecting a data readout definitely this month on the 48-week DME study. And once we get that readout, we are going to see this stock move up or down, I think, very, very rapidly. It's certainly loaded, and it's fallen very, very hard on that AMD data that I don't think we should have been expecting to be quite as good as this the DME data was at 48 weeks. And if it can hold up to, you know, that same type of benefit to visual acuity anywhere near that at 48 weeks, again, I think the stock will go up quite a bit and challenge these recent highs. Thank you for watching Un Poco Mas. I hope you guys have a great day and happy investing.